Hey there, Kimberly here with Knit for Brains, and today we're going to talk about one skein wonders and what you can do with all these scraps of yarn that you end up with after a project. So stay tuned. Hey there, Kimberly here with Knit for Brains. Welcome to my channel. So you all know that I have a lot of yarn. I mean, you can kind of see it everywhere. And if you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you've seen me do a lot of unboxings. So you know I have a lot of yarn. And as I've always told you, and as I'm sure you know as well, you always have leftover. There is always leftover yarn after a project. So what do you do with that? Or what do you do with that one skein that you absolutely had to have, but maybe there was only one skein left, or maybe you absolutely loved it, but maybe you couldn't afford more than one skein. So what do you do with all of these? Well, I thought it would be very beneficial for all of us involved to do a segment today on one skein wonders. And I have scoured the internet and Pinterest and everywhere I can find to come up with ideas for one skein wonders or scraps that you can use that you've already got yarn for. And you can make some really, really cute things. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And in no particular order, I found these. So the first one I have down is ear warmers. Now, look here at the picture. These are adorable. You can do these with a granny square. You can do like a little mosaic like you see here. So adorable. You can even have them fit over pre-existing like headphones or ear warmers or something like that. Such a cute idea. Coffee mug cozies. Now this I have done before. This takes tiny, tiny little bits of yarn. Adorable Christmas presents, birthday present, maybe embellish it with a little bit of like stitching or buttons or something like that. But a coffee cozy is such a great idea. You can even do like a mug and maybe put in some like flavored coffees or teas or something like that if you know who you are giving the gift to and what they like, and then put a little coffee cozy around it. You can decorate them for the holidays, for birthdays. The ideas are endless, but such a cute idea. Grocery bag holders. Now, this is something that I never would have thought of, and I hate to say it, but I did have one of those like nasty old plastic ones, right, that you stuff the grocery bags into. What a great idea. You can make it as this cute little holder here, or this guy here, Yip Yip, one of my all-time favorite Sesame Street characters. And they have this guy, they have him made in these cute little stockings. So you can do all kinds of fun decorative things. You can even put it in your kid's room. Maybe if you want to have them put little toys or socks or dirty clothes or whatever it is in one of these cute little bag holders. Such a cute idea. Hand warmers and fingerless mittens. Now, that's a great idea. Now, here in Southern California, we don't really have a lot of need for hand warmers or fingerless mittens, but occasionally we do, or occasionally we go on vacation and we go to the snow or something like that. Such a great idea. And you can make these in any kind of fiber. You can make them in acrylic or wool or cotton. You can make them really thick. You can make them thinner. You can do pretty much anything you want with them. And there is a bazillion patterns out there. I'm just showing you the pictures that I found. Mostly I found them just scouring the internet, but a lot of them I found on Pinterest. So I'm not going to include any patterns here, but you can go to Pinterest and just Google whatever you want, or put it in the search bar rather, and all these different things come up. I found a lot of my patterns on Ravelry. I get a lot on Etsy. I try to get free patterns, but I don't mind supporting the pattern designers and such that I like, and a lot of them are found on Etsy. So coasters, such a great idea. Now this actually was supposed to be a table runner that I just got bored with, and I made a whole bunch of these little things, but they're so cute. These are made out of 100% cotton. So they wash up really nice and neat. I mean, I had this in my office. I would just tie these off. Super cute idea for gifts. You can make them in a bunch of different colors, different flowers, whatever. Tie them up with a little bow. Maybe, include like a bottle of wine, or maybe some coffee, or a little coffee mug with a little cozy around it. So many great ideas. So coasters, so easy. Washcloths or hand towels. Now this is something that I made last year. I made a little spa basket for a friend of mine. This is just a basic seed stitch. So cute, so easy. Now, if you're going to use anything that's going to get wet, so for like a coaster or a hand towel or a washcloth or a face poof or whatever it is, You just want to make sure it's 100% fiber. So 100% cotton, 100% wool, something like that. Acrylic doesn't absorb water, and so it kind of pills on top, and it's not the best for those kind of projects. This was just 100% cotton, and this is just a seed stitch, but it's really cute, really absorbent, and I put the little nubbies in there, so it's actually got some good texture. But washcloths, hand towels. Now, I use a seed stitch or the lemon peel stitch for these because it gives it a kind of interesting little texture. If you've ever made anything like this below, comment below and let me know what kind of stitch you think works really well for these different things. Of course, we got to go with the amigurumi. I mean, how simple is that, right? As you guys know, I made these little amigurumi cactuses a while back. This one took up no yarn whatsoever. And I am not necessarily a plant person. I love plants, but I kill them often. Cactuses I do pretty good with. And actually with my garden I do pretty good with. But my mom's a huge plant person, not me so much. But this is so great, right? I don't have to kill it. And this one here, I actually even made the soil. Put it in this cute little pot. Plants are my soil mates. And plunk, in it goes. Little cactus flower on top. Boom, it's done. I actually even bought some cute little seed beads, you know, like little glass beads that I'm going to attach to this, give it a little bit of a zhuzh. But amigurumi, any kind of amigurumi. You can do stuffed animals. You can even do these fish. These fish are awesome. I made these so many times, and instead of filling them with like a fiber fill, I fill them with a ping pong ball. You're like, really? Remember, 100% cotton. So if you use the Sheppies, what I have back here, that's all Sheppies, or anything that's 100% cotton. This here is not 100% cotton, but it does have some cotton in it. So you want to make sure that it's nice and absorbing. And then instead of putting the fiber fill inside, put a ping pong ball inside. It is the perfect bath toy for little kidlets. I have put them in little fishnets, given them as gifts. Parents absolutely love them. And you can actually even put some soap and use it as a scrubber. So adorable. And these take up no time whatsoever to make. Leg warmers. Leg warmers are so easy. And let me tell you, they are back in style. Now, when I was in high school, a while ago, leg warmers were the big thing, and they went up your boot and all the way. Now you can do these cuff boots, you can do a full-size leg warmer, you can do any amount of things, but they're so adorable. And now that you can use, you want to have something that's got a little bit of elasticity in it, because if it's going to stretch, you want to make sure that it's going to be able to go back up and back in space. So something like a sock yarn, or something that's even a little bit thicker. But a sock yarn would be really good because it's got a little bit of that elasticity in it, a little bit of that nylon, right? That spandex that's going to allow it to come back into shape. So like I did here with this sock, it gave it a little bit of a stretch, okay? And so I know it's going to go back in shape. You could make some socks too, but you probably need to, like each one of these socks takes one skein. So if you have a couple of these skeins left over, this is a great idea. A nice little, you know, little Christmas stocking or something like that, a little sock you can give to somebody as a gift. Doesn't take long. These are super, super fast projects. It's not going to take a lot of time, but it's going to get rid of all those little scraps and these little balls you got laying around. Dog and cat toys. Such a great idea. If you do the dog, you can even have it go around like a little bit of like a naga hide bone, or even around a ball. Maybe you have like a rubber ball or a tennis ball, and then, you know, kind of crochet something around that. Super cute idea. With a cat toy, throw a little bit of catnip inside it, and they're going to go bonkers. Again, with those kind of things, I probably would use a natural fiber, like a cotton, or maybe even a wool. Or if you really want to get fancy, you could make something out of wool and you could felt it as a dog toy or as a cat toy, so they don't get their little teethers and their little claws into it, and then it won't shred up so much. So just you want to make sure it's 100% felting wool. Now, you may not have that lying around, and I understand that's a very, very specific kind of yarn. So for instance, these are felting yarns, and you can see it's just kind of coarse. Okay, it's got a little bit of fuzz to it, a little bit of zhuzh to it. This is probably a pretty full skein, and this one I know is also a felting yarn. So again, what you do with the felting yarn is you make what you want to make. It's going to look really big, and then you're going to wash it with like your soap, your agitation. And the agitation, what it does is it makes the fibers fuse together. And then you put, so basically you kind of put it in the washer. That's usually how I do it, and then it spins it out. Sometimes you have to be careful because you want to make sure that the fibers don't actually fuse together. So if you're making like a hug, like a cozy, that it doesn't actually fuse together and you can't go in there. So sometimes you can either put it in the washer, or you can just kind of hand wash it in the sink. A lot of people make felt or wool balls for their dryer, and they just basically, you can take a ball and just wind it up. You don't even have to knit it, right? Or you could knit into whatever. But basically what you do is you make these wool balls, and they're kind of cute, and then they tumble in your dryer, and they act as sort of a like a dryer sheet, right? And they keep the static, but they keep everything kind of loose and rolling around together. So this would be your felted wool. Anything that, and I love making felted things because it's sort of like you really don't know what you're going to get until until it comes out. You're like, oh my gosh, this is so cute. So these would be really cute coffee cozies. Or you could wrap it, you could make something to hold a water bottle in. Or if you're going to give someone maybe a bottle of wine for the holidays, maybe make a wine bottle holder out of some felt or some yarn and then felt it. Put the bottle inside of it so that it dries and it gets the shape of the bottle. It's such a cute idea. Just coming up with ideas. This is up to you. But if you have any ideas or you've done something similar, just comment below and let me know. Ornaments, Christmas ornaments, right? I mean, this one here I made last year, and I made it with a little bit of it was a very light, like a 2 weight, and I just changed out the colors. It's a little bit squishy. It was sort of my first go round at it. And actually what I did was I made it in 2 different halves, and then I just sewed it together in the center. So that's why it's not exactly nice and round. But you could even put like a little plastic ball. You find these at all the craft stores. Michael's has them, Joann's, Hobby Lobby, these big plastic craft balls. You could do that, and you could just crochet this around it, not put any fiber fill in it. And then you could put some, maybe some Christmas ideas inside, maybe some potpourris, anything you want, or just kind of leave it empty and blank. But little Christmas ornaments, attach them to a present as a little, like a tag gift. Such a great idea, I think. I think these are great ideas. These are not my ideas. I just found them, and I think they're brilliant, but I did not come up with the concept, so we know. Hats, of course, we need hats, right? Everybody needs hats. And a hat usually takes maybe a skein, maybe not. Sometimes you have skeins that have the little pom-pom already attached to it, and so all you have to do is just make it, and the one skein makes one hat. So if you've got an extra skein laying around or something like, I really want to make something cool, make yourself a hat. This skein I absolutely fell in love with. This is a German line. I don't even remember where I bought it. It's called Zarball Crazy, and it's got a cat on it. I don't know. I can't tell you where I found it. All I know is I loved it and I bought it. It is by Schroppel's Strick, or Schroppel. I don't know what I'm going to make with it yet. Maybe after all this I'll figure it out. But it's only the one skein. Well, I saw a lot of balaclavas. Now, not something that I personally would probably make. But you never know. Maybe you live in a colder climate. Maybe you want something like that. You just want to make sure that that your head is exposed. But again, super easy. I think a lot of men like these. So if you're making gifts for the men in your life, this will be a great idea as well. Again, easily one skein. You could probably make a couple of them out of a skein, depending. Maybe you'd want to use like a thicker yarn, like maybe a Lion Brand Thick and Easy, or Thick and Quick, or something like that. Maybe a weight of a 5 or even a 6 could make a really nice bulky balaclava. Shawlettes. Shawlettes are super popular, which is basically a shawl but smaller. So it's like a petite shawl. Not something that I would typically make for myself, but I have made them for gifts. And again, super great idea, really fun. You got a cute little ball of maybe Hobby Universal, really pretty colors, but you just have the one. Go ahead and make a little shawlette and give it to somebody. It's a nice little thing you can have around your neck when you go out at night, or you can even make like a fun little collar that goes around. So the opportunities, the ideas, the possibilities are endless. Endless, I tell you. A bun cover. That's a great idea. Now, I don't have I had a lot shorter hair when I first started doing these videos. I used to have really long hair. I can't really put a bun. Well, I guess I supposedly I could, maybe, put my hair up in a bun. But if you have a little girl in your life who maybe is doing ballet or gymnastics or something like that, and she needs to put her hair back in a bun, super cute idea. Just do a little bun cover and tuck that back in there, right? One thing I've seen a lot of lately are these crocheted handkerchief or bandanas or kerchiefs that you put in your hair. And these are really, really easy. I've seen them on Amazon. I'm debating because I'm like, ooh, you know what? $9. Could I make it for any cheaper than that? Probably not. But would I, because I have so many scraps? Yeah, I probably could. Like I could make a sweater with a little matching kerchief or something like that. Super fun idea. Baby hats, of course. Those are super easy, very small, tiny. What about coin purses? Coin purses, great idea. You can buy these zippers. You can get them on Amazon in a big pack. You probably have some zippers laying around. And then you just can crochet around it. Tina, she's from Finland. I love Tina. She has some beautiful crochet coin purse patterns. They're kind of a mosaic that she does. I did a tutorial. Actually, you can see the tutorial right here. Or at the end of this video as well. Super fun, really easy to make. You can make one in like a day. You just change up the colors as much as you like. So coin purse is a great idea. A phone holder. Phone holder is a great idea. Maybe if you're running out to the store, maybe you get yourself a little phone holder and then have maybe attach a little pocket in the back that you can put in some credit cards or something like that. Give it as a gift. Keep it for yourself. Whatever you want to do. So many choices. A phone cord. So I can't tell you how many times I've been out with friends or I go on vacation. And I'm like, that's my phone cord. My son's like, no, it's my phone cord. But if you make yourself a cute little phone cord holder, everybody knows which one is yours. I loved this. I made this for a friend of mine who had some St. Bernards. She asked me to make 3. And would you believe I still have them? We haven't been able to connect. But so easy. I just sewed in the zipper right here. These are little, if you don't know what St. Bernards, they have this thing about where they wear the whiskey barrels around their neck. And then what I did is I attached these little holders here so it could slip around a collar. Okay. And then here in the opening, there's a little hole where it was a magic circle. I just didn't close it up quite easily or quite totally. And then you just put the little doggy bags inside here. Such a great idea. Doggy bag holder. And again, I did 1 skein and I made 3 doggy bag holders with this 1 skein. And then I just attached a little bit of brocade ribbon here, sewed up the back end, sewed on the little edges here on the back, and it's all ready to go. And then I did this in felt. Loved the idea. Of course, everybody gets slippers for Christmas. Baby booties, such a great idea. And again, with slippers, you can easily make a pair or more, depending on the size of your skein. Now, you can also make felted slippers. I've made these. I love them. And they, you just have to, sometimes you can get like a little bit of like a rubber sole that goes on the bottom. So if you're on slippery floors or hardwood floors, then you don't slip around. You can buy the soles on Amazon or any kind of a hobby, probably like a supply store. You could find them as well, but you just want to attach that to the bottom. And you got these beautiful slippers for people to wear. That's a wonderful idea. Very caring. They'll appreciate it, I promise you. Of course you could make a tote. Now, you know me, when I finish up with a project, I have some extra granny squares laying around. Maybe I've made too many. Maybe I just really like the yarn, but I don't have to make anything else. So oftentimes I will just take my extra yarn and I'll make a bunch of granny squares and then have them laying around. For a purpose just like this, if you have a tote, all you do is figure out what you want to do, put them all together. They don't even have to be the same yarn. They can be different textures, different yarns, right? And you can make yourself a little tote. Grab yourself, just like one basic color, and then you can crochet around it, make a strap, do whatever you want to do. Bandanas or baby bibs, also a great idea. So a baby bib, something that you just kind of like wear around the neck, or sometimes when babies are teething, they tend to drool. So making them a cute little bandana that ties around the neck is a great idea. Okay. Again, takes no time at all. You could actually, I have in the past, and you could do this too, gotten an invitation or for a baby shower and thought, ooh, I need to add one more little gift. And I have made something the day of, as I'm almost heading out the door. to give as a gift. So baby bandana, little booties, little teeny tiny hat, something like that. Adorable. Okay, a tissue box cover. Yes, yes, I know. These are very dated. Your grandmother probably had a bunch. Those and those funky little toilet paper covers. Whoever thought that was a great idea? But that was the rage. My grandmother had them in every bathroom. Every bathroom. Probably not going to go down that road, but a tissue box cover doesn't have to be your grandmother's tissue box cover. It can be very simple, very modern, very decorative, can be whatever you want to do. It can be square, can be, so that's a great idea as well. A nice little touch to add to your bathroom. Bookmarks, great gift. Find a bestseller book that you're giving to someone as a gift, crochet a little bookmark, stick it inside, pop it in the mail, or give it to them as a gift, and you're done. And you've added a nice little creative touch to it. Baskets. I love crocheting baskets. Extra yarn. I have made baskets with felting yarn. Super fun. I have actually made baskets and then I've put like another bowl inside. So it's great to serve meals in or chips and dip, things like that. So you put another bowl inside of this to protect it. And then you've got this great little bowl. You can actually use them as, like a soup warmer. Maybe you're going to have a bowl of soup, put it in a really cute little basket. Wonderful idea. Or I've made bread baskets before, or plant baskets. You see these all over the place. You got yourself just a plain little terracotta, plant basket that you got somewhere. You want to zhuzh it up a little bit. Crochet a little basket to go around it. Very, very simple. Baby toys and rattles. These are really fun. Now, again, you want to make sure that you're using, 100% safe products. I get these maple teething rings. And you can get them online. You want to make sure they're 100% maple and they're not going to splinter. So oftentimes they're going to be treated with like a beeswax or some kind of a natural oil so they don't splinter. And then you can crochet a little, little character around the top like this. Absolutely adorable. I have made rattles. You just want to make sure that if you are going to make a rattle or something that has little parts that might be able to come off and that little kids can swallow or maybe choke on, that it's completely encased. So you can't break into the rattle, the ball that has the little pieces inside of it. So if you're going to put it together, make sure you glue it together really well, or, just crochet something around it. Couple more ideas. A tea cozy. Now I made one of these for my cousin who was in the south of France. I made a little bumblebee. I've got a video here that I did, a little tutorial. That was a one skein wonder. Very fun. If you're going to do a tea cozy, again, you want to make sure that you're using those natural fibers, cotton or wool. I personally like to use wool just because I think it has a nicer texture and it really helps to hold in the heat. And it's not going to stretch. Like if you're going to if you're going to use a cotton, it's going to tend to stretch and then it's not really going to go back into place. But if you use a wool, you can actually even use a felting wool if you have one. And you can actually felt it, or it's just going to hold the heat and hold its shape a little bit better. So if you do have some wool that's sitting around, you don't know what to do with it, you can do a tea cozy. And it doesn't have to be like a full skein. You can have a couple different skeins and just make it fun, make it whatever you want. And lastly, for those of us who have the furry friends in our family, make a little dog sweater or a little dog coat that just goes over the top and then comes up underneath. That can be, in something that's an acrylic, or it can be a cotton. Make sure it's not scratchy because it's going to be going up against their skin. But I think that cottons or doggy sweaters are a great idea. So there you go. I was just sitting around thinking, I've got all these skeins of yarn and I have a lot of these partial skeins of yarn, and what am I going to do with all of them? So I started looking and thought, I bet you guys are going to be interested as well. So there you go. That is my list of one skein wonders or crafts that you can make, gifts that you can make with scrap yarn that you have laying around. Comment below. Let me know if you've tried any of these, or maybe you have ideas of projects that I didn't mention here. Let me know. Comment down below. Thanks so much for watching. This is Kimberly with Knit for Brains. Always having fun. Always so glad to have you all here. Invite your friends in because we're that close to 1,000 subscribers. As a matter of fact, by the time you watch this, we might already be at 1,000 subscribers. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when you get all the updates. Whenever I post a new video, you'll get the first update about it. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you soon.